So I come home, come home from a great day of all kinds of stuff, whatever, and making dinner. And husband is like, so you know that guy who was on Dancing with the Stars? And he was like, wait, no, so you think you can dance? And I was like, yeah. He was like, and then he was on Ellen, and I was like, yeah. And then he told me that he freaking killed himself this morning. And I'm just like, as so sad, so sad. And of course, we all, people, it was like, oh, he had it all. He had a beautiful wife and children, and he had success, and he didn't want to live anymore. He couldn't stand what was going on in his brain. It was that bad that he wanted to end it. Damn it. Yeah, anyway, so there's my blurt out of sadness. There's a part of you in your brain that doesn't want to think the thoughts that you're thinking and feel the way that you're thinking, obviously. And you can't help it. So what do? And there's so many of us going through the same thing. And with social media today, like how everybody is connected, that's cool, right? We get to see what everyone else is doing and, what's going on. And, but like, I feel like if people were more raw, more just put the, whatever they're going through, even though it's not cute, even though it does not make them look good or whatever, like we are all struggling with something. I don't care who you are, how rich you are, how beautiful you are, how whatever. Everybody is struggling with something. And we're all people. And I mean, I don't know the numbers because hello, I don't know. But there's so many people in this world going through X. I can't even do an X. Anyway, you get it. Going through X. There's so many people going through Y. And if those people could just get together, and the people who have gone through X and triumphed, overcome X, whatever X is, we could help each other. We could help each other. It's just so upsetting that our minds can hurt us so badly that we don't even want to be anymore. And we have beautiful kids, or no kids. We have a roof over our head. We have whatever we have. Yet, it just, you can't bear to endure the feelings and the thoughts that you're having anymore. And you need it to stop. And the only way to get it to stop is to end it. And that's Twitch. He was funny. He was happy all the time. And now we learn that he wasn't really happy all the time. And he was struggling. And there's so many others who are struggling, who have struggled, and some of them haven't made it. And some of them have. And those people that have figured it out and cracked the code to happiness y'all need to step up. And I'm talking to myself too, because we could help somebody. And that, I mean, what's better in life than to help somebody? Seriously. Like, I know they say like, oh, giving is what brings you the most joy, and you like roll your eyes and maybe, but seriously, like, seeing someone smile because of something you did or said to them, or, you know, they're whatever it may be, and you just hear and you make their day. I mean, you know, you've had people make your day or ruin your day. Okay? Every individual has the ability and does make or break or ruin someone else's day. And you know what? We're people, okay? We're people. But really, like, we're souls. And we're all the people we are because of our upbringing, everything, our ancestors, everything that's been taught to us, our, you know, nature versus nurture. I don't know, but it's just so sad that people can't be them. And anyway, I don't know. Those are my thoughts. How can we help each other? How can you help him, her, he, whatever, whoever? Do it. I mean, do unto others as you want done to yourself. Simple. If everybody did that, you know, even like I think about like the mass murderers that are shooting up schools. I mean, do they really want to do that? I mean, are they just happy with who they are? No. I mean, I would imagine that they're mad, they're hurt, they're angry. They hate what's going on in their head. They want it to stop. They want to be, everybody wants to be happy. Everybody wants other people to be happy. I mean, maybe not. Do you not want other people to be happy? Who doesn't want other people to be happy? Who doesn't want themselves to be happy? What can we do to help everyone in this world be happy? Like, okay, I read The Brave New World when I was in high school, and I loved that book. And I don't even remember it, okay? But everyone had like their task, and you know, there were petri dishes, and I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. But like, if we just, there's so many resources that we have. Like, I have more than I need, but I don't want to help somebody. Somebody that I don't know, because I think to myself, well, no one else is. What if they're taking advantage of me, taking me for granted? You know, if I help one person, what's that really gonna do? You know, we have all these excuses, but Oh, therapist, thank you for telling me to video journal, since I don't like writing journal. But man, depression, anxiety, that is no joke. Like, I'm 40, and I'm almost 41. This last year, I finally, for the first time, went to therapy. It's expensive. I paid $160 for 45 minutes with a woman, and she was amazing. I'd actually been to a couple therapists before, but they sucked. and they didn't help me. It takes the right person. And there are a lot of good ones out there. I mean, I haven't met them all, but there's good ones and there's not so good ones. I remember my therapist was saying that for those who can't afford it, they offer like free help. I thought that was really cool. But man, I've been there where it doesn't make sense, where you have this amazing life. And I didn't always have an amazing life. I've been through some shit. And the only reason I got through it, the only reason, and I'm talking about me as a child, being abused, neglected, not in school. I didn't go to public school until the 7th grade. I didn't know anything. I pretended to know things. Our neighbors down the street who were actually homeschooled, they had books and learned stuff. And I would look over the shoulder, see what they were learning, and I'd regurgitate that to whoever. Oh, what are you learning in school, Dara? Oh, whatever. I was a professional liar because I was ashamed of the truth, which was that my sisters and I were not getting any education. We were at home, and my mom's schizophrenic, and it sucked. She sucked. And it was awful. And I'm not trying to talk about me. Let me just talk about me. But I'm talking about me because it's relevant. I get it. I get depression. Anyway, and I feel joy here and there when I'm, playing Barbies or doing whatever, roller skating, and then reality hits and thoughts consume your head, and you're just not okay in your head. And I've been on different medications since I was in high school, and they were the wrong medications, and it fucked me up even more. I mean, you hear the side effects. Oh, side effects of this is, if you have any suicidal thoughts, make sure you diarrhea, all these side effects, whatever. And you're like, and then you hear about people getting on medication to try to get better, and then they end up killing themselves because their medication's effing with their head. And you're like, what do I do? I don't know. It's a chemical imbalance. And from whatever, okay, from your, I'm not a psychiatrist, so I don't even want to pretend like I know, but a lot of us are not fortunate enough to just have wonderful parents, wonderful upbringing, just a solid foundation, a good head on our shoulders, confidence. When I had to get off, I got off of medication when I got pregnant with my son, who's now 10, and I was terrified. And I got so depressed. I was pregnant and didn't want to hurt the baby with my depression pills. So I got off of weaned off of them, and I was not okay. I was not okay. And I made it through. Thank God. But the doctor I saw, Dr. Nutter, I'll never forget her, she was like, I know you care about this baby and you want the baby to be okay, but you need to be okay too. And I was like, yeah, I do. And it made no sense. It made no sense. And that is some fucked up shit. When you have no reason to be depressed, when your life, my therapist and my husband's grandma in the same week recommended The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. In the beginning of the book, he was describing just how awful he was feeling, and how, he'd look around his room and he was miserable. He like didn't want to be there. He's like, what's the point? And then he said, I can't stand myself, like my thoughts. I can't stand myself. And then he's like, wait a minute. I can't stand this. Like, am I two different people? Is this, I mean, what is that? Your soul? That's like, I don't want to be that way. I don't want to think those thoughts. I don't want to be miserable. So don't be miserable. Oh, wait, it's not that easy. Cool. It's not that easy. And I didn't think I'd ever get over depression. Even, I met with a doctor who was like $400 an hour, which I am such a cheap bastard, and I did not want to spend that money, but I was like, I need to not be a cheap bastard and just spend the money. And she listened to me, she took notes, and she got me on the right medication and cared. And I mean, it's made all the difference, but still not even enough. I needed to go to therapy, and I'd seen different therapists over the years, and they weren't great at all, but not like didn't go like regularly. I went like a handful of times, and I was just like, this fool. And then my primary care doctor, I like had a meltdown and told her like about my childhood a little bit. I like broke down, and she was like, oh my God. She's like, Dara, she's like, have you gone to therapy? Have you done? And I was like, no. She got on her computer and was looking up a psychiatrist that specialized in PTSD and EMDR. I don't even know what the hell EMDR is. And don't ask me what it stands for. It's eye movement, blah, blah, blah. So I go to see this woman, and 45 minutes, $160 for 45 minutes, which is a lot of money. And again, I don't like spending money. I've always stressed about money because growing up, money was not a flowing. And my dad was always stressing over money and yelling, and I have $70 to last the rest of the month. And it was like, he worked for the state, and it was like the 13th or something. And I'm like, as a child, just like stressed out because we had no money. Anyway, whatever. Why am I tangenting going in that direction? Going to see the therapist at 40 years old, finally, helped me. And and the intake form when I went to therapy, it says like, why do you want to go to therapy? And I was like, I'm gonna write all this shit down because I don't feel like sitting on the couch and crying my butt off and explaining all the childhood, all the trauma, and I know trauma, that word is like super trending. It's like kind of like you hear it now and you're just like, oh, trauma, because it's everywhere. But a lot of us have it. And unfortunately, we're not all fortunate enough to have wonderfulness and be born with, I'm talking and I don't even, but what I want to say is there's help out there. Like if your mind, our mind, sometimes I feel like our mind is like the devil. It's like, the inner child, I know that's a trendy word too, like, oh, inner child, but for real, like the inner person in you that just is, I just want to, play with my friends. I just want to have fun. I want to you know, play with this puppy and climb the tree, and you're just, and then we get all fucking corrupted. Oh my God. I'm too tired to even think and talk. It's like after midnight and I need to be in bed. Yeah. We're all connected. Everybody. I just watched this interview the other day with, I don't know what her name was, something Jackson, Latoya, I don't know, one of the Jackson sisters. And her dad, her father, who she referred to him as, but it didn't sound like her like biological. I think it was like her stepdad, her mom's boyfriend, but she called him her father. He raped her. And her mom allowed it. And she had to pretend like everything was okay. I didn't have it that bad, but I had to pretend like everything was okay. And that sucks. That'll fuck you up in the head. As a child? Really? Someone fucked him up, though. Someone fucked up my mom. Like, I know that there's that saying, hurt people hurt people. It's true. Okay. Well, I was going to bed and I washed my face, and then I'm like, more thoughts, so I want to get them out. I'm a verbal processor, and it's good for me to get them out, get my words out. So anyway, what's on my mind is Twitch, who killed himself. I don't know what was going on in his life, his upbringing, what that was like. But maybe it was very, very hard and awful. But he had a great career and a beautiful wife. Maybe they were an awful marriage. I mean, that could be a thing. He had children. Maybe his children were just rotten, but probably not. I'm sure he loved them. I'm sure he loved his wife. Maybe not. Maybe he didn't love his wife. But let's just say he enjoyed dancing. He enjoyed being on the Ellen Show. He enjoyed his life, his children. He loved his children. He wanted to see his children grow old and get married one day and maybe be a grandfather. I'm sure we think of these things. We're people who think of the future. And yet, despite all of that, the pain it didn't even matter. All that good stuff I just mentioned. It like mutes all of that, all of the goodness. And it just takes over. I swear that is the devil. I'm not like, oh, there's devil on one shoulder, is Jesus on the other, angel, devil, whatever. But like, our mind, oh my God, it's just so, that is, okay, I said the same thing probably 1,000 times different ways.